Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm Tanya Summerton, the Divorce Angel, and over the last few days I've just been giving my top 5 tips that I see for my clients that are going through divorce that can save you money. So at the start of the week I wrote a blog and it was called My 5 Tips to Saving Money When Going Through a Divorce. You can read that and get a copy of it on my website, which is www.tanyasummerton.com/blog. So thanks for coming back and joining me again. And if we just wanted to reiterate some of what we've already spoken about over the last week. So tip number 1 was a divorce folder and making sure that you have a comprehensive record of your relationship. So it is things like assets and liabilities, mortgage documents, savings accounts, copy of your marriage certificate, you name it. When you work with me, you actually get a 3-page checklist, and I ask my clients to go through and put that folder together. Now that folder can save you anywhere between a few $100s to a few $1,000s, depending on how comprehensive your relationship is and the assets and liabilities that you hold. My tip number 2 was making sure that you speak to the right people. So don't talk to your lawyer if you're struggling emotionally. Don't talk to your lawyer if you have had a fight the night before with your ex-partner and you want to ring them up and complain about what he or she said. All that's doing is adding up your billable hours, and it's not what you want to do. So when you ring your lawyer, make sure you have a checklist of all of the questions that you want to ask and the answers that you need and why, and make the conversation short and concise and to the point. My 3rd tip, which was yesterday, was making sure you have a financial plan. Now, what did I mean by that? Make sure that when you're dealing with your lawyer, that the assets that you're fighting over, you can actually afford to keep. And are they in the best interest of you and the family? So make sure that whatever you do decide to keep, that they are actually going to be a vehicle to actually provide you financial abundance. If not, think outside the square, think differently, do maybe something like what I did and sold our family home, and I used investment properties as what I was able to use to now start 2 businesses. So just think differently. Don't think like everyone else. Don't be a sheep. Be an individual and make sure that you do what is right for you. And if everyone is telling you to go one way, think twice, because if everyone's doing that, you want to make sure you go the other way. So my 4th tip for today is making sure you choose the right lawyer for you. Now, in my book, The Jelly Bean Jar, I actually break divorces down into 3 categories. And the reason I do that is because in a lot of cases, you might go to a lawyer and they might be the wrong lawyer for your divorce proceedings. Why, you might ask? Well, sometimes, we've had cases where the client has actually been just a real bully, and if you're using a lawyer that's softly spoken and not getting their point across, or someone's butting in all the time, that could be the wrong person for you. That could, you should be looking at the psychology of your partner and making sure that the lawyer that you employ is able to deal with their attributes and behaviours, and that will actually be able to make them communicate a little bit better. That's, when you're having your mediation. So something else that has come up recently is I've been getting a lot of clients ring me who have already spent time with other legal firms, and they've been talking to them for one client, for instance, for up to 18 months. She's been with another legal firm. Now, the legal firm never answers her emails. They don't get back to her when she leaves messages, and she asks for someone to return back her calls. She's had consent orders drawn up for something like 7 months, and they still haven't been submitted or updated. So in the meantime, she's just sitting, waiting, not being able to finish anything, and pretty much her life is in a holding pattern. She's still renting from a family member and not able to move on with her life because the lawyers just aren't getting back to her. So in the end, she has a bill up to $56,000. That's right, you heard it, $56,000, and she's still not finished. So she's come over to work with me and my team of experts and our lawyers, and we'll get this done really quickly. Hopefully in the next 4 weeks we'll have her consent orders, you know, stamped and back from the court. So it's such a big difference. So what I'm saying is, if you're dealing with a lawyer and that lawyer is not getting back to you, if they're not doing what you expect from them, think about it this way: you're hiring them to do a job, and if they're not treating you with respect and getting back to you when you expect to get back, it doesn't mean that you can't pick up what you've got and move to someone else. And if in your gut it doesn't feel right, if you're thinking, no, I don't think I'm getting the level of service that I should be getting, I'm not getting treated the way I should, they're trying to talk me into something that really is not what I want, get a second opinion. Get a second opinion, because it could save you a fortune and it could also get you a better outcome. So that was my 4th tip for today. If you have any inquiries about getting a divorce, or just wanting to find and do some due diligence and get some information, please feel free to give me a call. Contact me on my contact page on my website, which is www.tanyasomerton.com. You can find me on Facebook. I'm Tanya Somerton, the Divorce Angel, so you can find me under Facebook, and I'm the Divorce Angel. And I'd be happy to help and provide you any information I possibly can. So I have a 5-step divorce process, and it's all about getting my clients and their partners through this as seamlessly and amicably as possible, so we can set your future up for success, and we make sure that you've got all your plans and aspirations sorted out, so that, you know, who knows what's possible after all of this. So it doesn't need to be the end. It can be the start of something amazing if you want to think that way. So thanks for listening, and I'll be back tomorrow with my last tip.